All right, hi guys, I'm back. Okay, every time I'm getting better and better at this. I'm figuring out how to move my little camera thing so that it looks like I'm looking at the camera better, and I figured out how to move it to the other side of the screen so that you won't have to look at my hand the whole time. I know, you're so excited. Okay, so today we're going to work on lesson 103, perimeter of complex shapes. Notice that I made the rim all capital. That is to remind you that perimeter is measuring the rim around a figure. So we are measuring the outside of a figure. Okay, so you already know how to do perimeter, obviously, but today we're talking about complex shapes. So these are going to be shapes that look a little different and have a side or two that are missing, and you have to determine before you can calculate the perimeter. Okay, so we're going to kind of get into like how we use properties of shapes that we already know to help us determine those missing sides, and then we can calculate the perimeter. Okay, so let's look at a couple of examples. Since you already know perimeter, I don't have to give you a whole bunch of background here. All right, so we're going to open up the first one, which looks like this. Best I could do with the tools. It's not bad. All right, so let's look at what we have. We do know that we've got a side here. That's 3. So then we're going to work our way around clockwise from there. So 3 centimeters. So we've got a side of 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, 4 centimeters. Then we see that it looks like somebody bit a chunk out of our rectangle here. So if you notice, I could kind of do like dotted lines here if I wanted to, and say like, well, it kind of looks like I could have a complete thing there and there's a side bit, or you could draw a dotted line to separate this into 2 rectangles. Either way, totally works. But we notice that these 2 sides here and here are unknown. So I don't know how much those sides are, but using what I know about rectangles, I can easily find them. Because just like I drew the outline of if this were one giant rectangle, I can think about this as if it were one giant rectangle. So I know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are congruent, meaning they are the same measure. So that tells me if this side, let me see if I can change my color real quick for you. Oh, yep, it's gonna let me do it. Awesome. All right, so that tells me that if this side, actually, let me make this a little bigger too. This will make it easier for you to see. So if this side down here is 7 centimeters, then that means that this side up here also has to be 7 centimeters. So if this piece right here is the pieces that we know is 3, then that means that this piece right here has to add to 3 to give me a total of 7. So we know that 3 plus, yep, you guessed it, 4 equals 7. So then if that piece is 4, B, which is right opposite it, also has to be 4. Okay, so then we could do the same thing on the other side. So let me change my color again. This is just really helpful kind of for the visual effect. If I know that this side over here is 6 centimeters, then I could say, based on what I know about a rectangle, that this side over here also has to be 6 centimeters. So the piece they gave me is that 4. So then the missing piece has to be whatever adds to 4 to give me a total of 6. And that would be 2. Awesome. So then if this side is 2, then that A also has to be 2. Do y'all see how that works? Those parallel sides? I'm sure you do. So now we know that A is 2, B is 4. So now remember our goal was to find the perimeter of the figure. So now we can just add up all our sides, okay? So let's just kind of start at the 3 and we'll make our way around. So if we start here, back here again at the 3, then that's going to be a 3 plus, going clockwise again like we did at the beginning, 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. So that's all the way around the outside of our figure. So you can group these however you want to add them, but I know 6 plus 3 is 9, so sometimes it helps to just go a little piece at a time. 7 plus 4 is 11, 6 plus 2 is 6. So then if I add those, I know 9 plus 11 is 20, plus 6 is 26. So 26 centimeters. Remember, you don't square perimeter. I've seen that happen some. So you do not have to square your units on perimeter. It's just going to be centimeters, okay? Awesome. Let's look at one more example like that. Okay, so I really want you guys to make sure you're paying close attention to how we do these, because I always see students make mistakes with these, okay? So just pay super close attention to how I am piecing it all together. Okay, so same thing here. We've got 2 missing sides, and same thing. We could say that it looks like it's missing a big chunk out of it. Okay, like a big chunk got bit out of our rectangle here. Okay, so if that's the case, let me go change my color again. So if that's the case, and I know that this side over here, ooh, whoa, not sure how that happened. Sorry, guys. I think I accidentally tapped it and it won't erase. Weird. Sorry, technical difficulty. I know, I don't know why it's doing this. I mean, I can erase it, but it's going to erase through my... Oh, well. Okay. You can still see it. All right. So let's go back. So sorry. Not sure how that happened. Let's try again. All right. So if I know that this side over here is 8 inches, okay, then that tells me that, remember, I've got my little pretend side, okay, that this side over here also has to be 8 inches. So the little piece that I know is 2, then the unknown portion has to add to 2 to give me 8. So that would have to be 6. Awesome. Let's look at the next one. So if I know that this side down here is 10 inches, and then I know that this side up here also has to be 10 inches, so this little piece of that side is 4. So that tells me the rest of it has to add to give me 10, which it's want to pull down stuff. Okay, so then if that is 6, then this measure across from it, M, also has to be 6. And if this other piece is 6 over on the right there, then that tells me that the measure of N, which is across from it, also has to be 6. So interestingly, they both turn out to be 6. Doesn't always happen that way. So now we just add together all of our outsides. Remember, when you add together your perimeter, you are not, let me go to a red so you can see really big, not or this piece, okay? These are fake sides out here, okay? Remember, that's why I made this dotted, because it's just to help me find these pieces, okay? So now we're going to add, starting at the 4 again, we'll start there and we'll go clockwise. So 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 10 plus 8. So let's add all those together. 4 plus 6 is 10, 6 plus 2 is 8, 10 plus 8 is 18. So that's 18 plus 18, which is going to give me 36 inches. Do we square it for perimeter? Very good. We don't. All right. Awesome job, guys. That's it. Okay. So now you know how to do these. Like I said, be super careful. I see lots of mistakes on these every time, but I know you guys got it. You can totally do it. Happy homework.